part that he dealt with some demons.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to get to.
Yeah.
So one night I was at this club that a lot of people probably watching this probably know about the place, and it's probably shut down. I'm not allowed to say the name of the
Sure.
place. Okay, it was called the Sound Factory, and I'm sure a lot of people know what this place was about. Everything that went on there was gays and lesbians and people sleeping with each other and drugs, and that's all the place was about. It would sometimes stay open for 48 hours at a time, where people just getting high and just listening to the music, and it was just, obviously it wasn't a good place. And I've been there many times, and this particular night, I was there, and I took 12 ecstasy pills, and I was there and I was sniffing K. Okay, and all of a sudden, when you walk in there's a first bar to the left, and I was all the way at the corner. I was there with a friend named Billy, and all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, I felt like I was gonna die. Like I felt like something really bad. Like this kept playing in my mind, like something really bad was gonna happen. And all of a sudden, I had a vision of myself in hell, and it wasn't like where I was in this certain place and there was like, like a fire and stuff. It was like, if you ever look at your TV screen where it's like that snow, it was like that, but it was like, it was a fire color, and I knew I was there. I knew where I was, I knew when I was, and I knew that it was real. And all of a sudden, high and low, I just leaned up against the bar, and I just started praying to the Lord. Like, Lord help me, I'm sorry, and I was apologizing, I was repenting, as I'm high. And all of a sudden, I just started feeling better. I started feeling like, like I felt safe. And all of a sudden, like right after that, I said, look, we gotta go. It was a Thanksgiving Eve. I said, look, we gotta go. I never ever told anybody what happened between me and the Lord tonight. I didn't tell my friend Billy. I didn't tell nobody. Nobody knew except me and God. So like maybe like 3 or 4 nights later, a week later, whatever it was, my brother comes into my apartment, because I was living with my mom at the time, and there was an apartment there, and he came in my apartment in tears, crying. And he's saying, Tony, he said, I'm telling you now, the Lord is telling me he's not going to give you many more chances. He said, enough is enough. He said, you need to stop. And I'm just, at this point in time, I was on a massive amount of steroids. And, I was angry. I didn't want to hear nothing. I didn't want to hear no one. I just did what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it. I was dealing drugs at the time, and that was it. So I remember sitting, I was on a couch. It was a pink couch. And he came over, and he was sitting here, and I'm just looking at the television like this. And but I'm hearing what he's saying, and he's in tears. I mean, this kid came in and his tears gushing down his face. And, he's still telling me, telling me this, and he said, you were at a club about a week ago. He said, if you didn't lean up against the bar at that very moment, he said, something really bad was going to happen to you. And I just looked at him. That was the only thing that took my attention off the television. I looked at him, I said, Mario, I said, how did you know that? Because there's no way that he would have known that. There's no way. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell nobody. So then I just put my face back on the television, and now he's just talking. He puts his hand on my leg and starts praying to the Lord. He said, there's 7 demons in you right now. Right? And he just keeps his hand on my leg, and I'm still focused on the television, and he starts praying. He's like, now there's 6. And he's praying and praying and praying, and it's like, now there's 5. And I'm telling you right now, when he was praying, I started feeling better, and I literally felt something coming out of me. Like, there's no way, it's not even almost something like you can almost describe. And he has his hand on me, and he keeps praying. He's like, now there's 4. Keeps praying. He's like, now there's 3. He's like, keeps praying. Now there's 2. Remember, I'm just staring at the television. He said, right when he got down to 2, he said, Satan can be in one place at one time, and he said he's in you right now. And as soon as he said that, my face, and there's no way I did this. My face was on the television. Something inside me grabbed my head, ripped my head. I was to the right, ripped my head this way, and just stared at Mary's eye. My eyes were peeled open, and just wanted to tear into my brother. And as soon as he did that, as soon as that happened, as soon as my head got whipped around, I felt the presence come over me like I've never, it's an indescribable. The best movie filmmaker out there couldn't put it on a film. And the presence just I literally felt like I was floating in the air. The presence was so strong. It was like something just wrapped around me from the inside out. And I just started gushing in tears. And my tears just started pouring out. And it was just like, I don't even know, this the feeling you can't even describe, like the presence of God like that. It was so pure and so real, but it just took everything out of me, and I was just tearing. And my brother said, he looked at me and he said, I saw Satan stare in my eyes and wanted to tear me apart for casting him out. And he said, just go over to your bed, and he said, just start praying. I went over to my bed, I just went on my knees, and I just started repenting to the Lord and just asking for forgiveness, and it was an amazing story.
I just want to say